Welcome to Assembly Audible, the podcast dedicated to exploring all aspects of product assembly. I'm your host, Jennifer Pierce, and we're so happy you're listening in today. I'm joined by Steven Sherman, VP of Engineering with Rivet King. Welcome to the podcast.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. And also, first and foremost, congratulations on receiving New Product of the Year award in the Fastening Tools category.
Oh, we're very proud of it. It's a wonderful accolade, and we're happy to show it.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Well, I'm excited to learn more about the product in just a minute. But to start with, tell us a little bit about your background, what you do, and what brings you to the assembly show this year.
Well, a vice president of engineering at Industrial Rivet Fastener Co. We are the purveyors of the Rivet King branded products. We focus primarily in permanent mechanical fastening, and the assembly show is like a great place, to show people how to most efficiently put metal together.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So rivets might seem like a small part, but they're clearly a big deal in manufacturing. Why are rivets such an important component in so many applications?
Well, in assembly, it's a matter of holding things together. And it's really a fascinating, no pun intended, way to connect these pieces. So when we're all building our products, we need a way for it to be joined. And rivets are one of the most efficient ways to put products together. And I think that's really important for, those attending the show and or in the industry trying to put things together faster.
Mm-hmm. I was a jewelry major in college for a little while, and I learned how to, I think that's called riveting, putting metal together.
Yes.
Which brings me to our next question, and that is some people might think of riveting or rivets as an old school product. How is Rivet King keeping this technology modern? Because it is a traditional, way of joining things, right?
Yes, absolutely. The Titanic was held together with rivets. That's not really a great story, but also so were the infrastructure projects of the Industrial Revolution. So all of the bridges and tunnels and Empire State Building, all put together with rivets that we see there. Those are still standing today.
Right. So to call it old school is not necessarily incorrect.
True. No, it is definitely. No, what's interesting is that those products were much bigger, and over time they got smaller. Those were replaced by bolting technologies, but rivets are used in aircraft, and they hold up the planes that we flew here together on, the cars that we drive every day. And ultimately, sheet metal products, as rivets got smaller, we can laser sheet metal faster, we can create holes, and it becomes a very flexible way to assemble product.
Yeah. So how is the technology evolving, or how is Rivet King keeping the technology modern?
So riveting has become, again, the most efficient way, most productive way to attach metal. And with us recognizing that, if you have a certain discipline in creating holes and lining them, instead of following a screw and a helix, which takes time to assemble, rivets are one and done very quickly, within a second. So we also recognize that labor is a big part of our customers' installation cost, and quality is ultimately really important. So we have two great products, King Set being one of them, where we auto feed the rivets to the nose of the tool. Again, all the benefits of flexibility with regard to assembly, but not having to stick your hand into a box every single time is really beneficial, and there's automation possibilities with that. So that's the King Set product, and on the Free Set product, this is like Industry 4.0, the coming of the next fourth industrial revolution, the connectivity of devices, and now you can put sensors on products that you can hold in your hand. You can put a Wi-Fi board on a barcode reader, and with those sensors, you can verify the installation process, and you can process monitor to ensure that you're getting quality out of every joint that you're putting together.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, I mentioned in the beginning, Rivet King won New Product of the Year at the show just this morning in the fastening tools category. So, and I assume that this is what you've brought to display here. But so I'm curious to know what are some of the things happening on the show floor? What new products or innovations are you showcasing? And what makes your new developments stand out or push the industry forward? Why do you think Rivet King won the award today?
Well, it's a very innovative technology.
Tell us all about it.
Yeah. It's a tool
that
has that Wi-Fi card, and we're doing things as opposed to pneumatically, we're doing it electronically. So we have a battery power. We're free of any cables and hoses. So it's and that's why we call it free set, because you can walk around your car or vehicle. In addition, we're using rechargeable technology to fasten these metal components, and we have sensors on it that can detect force and stroke. So when we can monitor force and stroke, we can verify that it's been installed correctly, which also gives us the ability to count the amount of fasteners installed and give guidance to the operators when they need it to ensure that they're not missing any fasteners, and that it is ultimately providing the level of quality that our American customers really are looking forward to improving.
Yeah, well, quality is definitely our next topic of discussion and seems to be a huge part of Rivet King's reputation. How do you ensure consistency and reliability in your rivets and the tools that go with them?
Well, in the spirit of anything that we're trying to improve, right along with Kaizen and continuous improvement, we need to understand what is inhibiting us from making that next leap forward. And the benefits of riveting, being a very efficient way to put metal together, understanding that operators that might be new, it's you don't need a high level of training to use these products, but they need to be better informed on when there is a hiccup or when there is a training opportunity, present, that there's a tool that's going to be enabling them to assist. Mm-hmm. In addition to that, manufacturers today have a more responsibility to produce quality product. So from liability, standpoint, and from an efficiency standpoint,
right.
All of those
customer expectations
are there, and this tool and the controller that it's mounted to gives you that.
That's what I was going to ask. So you showed me the tool. What is this?
So this is the controller that it mounts to. The tool will operate by itself, and it'll inform the operator, and it will communicate with the people that are using it.
Okay.
But if you want to data log and if you want to track information, the controller is what creates that link. It captures all the information. It can convey it to motherships and other MES systems for their own recording processes, and it ultimately. It's not very common in riveting, and because we're experts in the permanent mechanical fastening field, we understand those tricks of the trade, and we're now able to adopt some of these technologies into our products.
Yeah, this is kind of just a side question, but I'm just kind of curious. What do you think it is that makes Rivet King different than your competitors?
Well,
you seem prepared to answer it, so I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad because it was a little bit of a curveball, but
it's okay.
I'm just curious.
With screws, you can install it, and if you didn't install it correctly, you can just remove it and try again. Rivets, it's one and done.
Yeah, right. It's
right?
totally trash if you mess it up once, right?
Exactly. Or trying to remove it is an interesting experience. So you have to make sure it's done right the first time, and if you do, that's where the support network that we have that cover the 50 United States. We can bring someone in within 24 hours, almost any location where metal is bent. That we sit beside our customers and help them through the understanding of some of the mysteries in rivets, and that kind of guidance is really important for their efficiency, in solving a problem. Mm-hmm. And that's the application-based support is really where we thrive, and our best customers really understand that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. Well, what's next for Rivet King? How do you see your company evolving in the fastening industry in the next few years?
Well, it's kind of brings me back to that first question where, rivets first started in infrastructure. and it went away, and since have been in structures and in sheet metals today, where rivets got smaller. But there's very interesting new fasteners that are coming out that are kind of going to bring us back into those infrastructure projects. So now lock bolts and structural fasteners are being created in the riveting space, where level of permanence is necessary for solar fields and for AI data centers. These are infrastructure projects, and the fasteners themselves are, interestingly enough, getting bigger. And we're at the very forefront of what's happening there, and really excited to see them come back to some of the applications that we've historically seen 100 years ago.
Like, can you give me an example?
I mean, we're a 113-year-old company. I don't look that old, but 4 generations strong, always focused in riveting, and we remember those times. And like I mentioned, those solar panel projects, right?
Okay.
They're valuable pieces of equipment. You don't want to remove them, or you don't want people to be able to steal those, photoelectric cells.
Yeah.
And so you want something that is going to secure it, not just against, theft, but also against the elements, whether it be a tornado or a hurricane or whatever it is, right? So, that level of permanence is really important, and that's something that bolts, nuts, and screws, lack.
Yeah.
And so, on the riveting side of it, there's plenty of new applications that are coming. We're really, really excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, is there anything that you'd like to add or share before we close today?
Well, just that the assembly show is the bringing together of people that are really focused on these continuous improvement activities. It was really a great pleasure to see all these new products out there. We definitely fit, and we've learned a lot from being here as well. And we're looking forward to what American companies are going to be doing for us in the near future. It's a very exciting time.
Well, Steven, thank you so much for your time today, and once again, congratulations on your award.
Thank you very much. It's
Absolutely.
a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Assembly Audible. Until next time, signing off from the Assembly Show. Thanks for listening.